All right, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good to see you this morning. So grateful. The singing, those early morning singers brought all the spirit, and you all arrived. It was so exciting to see the people come in after the singing. So today my topic is true parent, true teacher, and true owner. Actually, today is an amazing anniversary. August 25th, 1992, there was a 30,000 couple blessing. Right. And then in Seoul, Korea. And in 1995, there was 360,000 couples all around the world, right? Yay! Is that you? All right. Good job. Thank you very much. So there's a well-known secret among pastors, preachers, that it's quite wise sometimes to borrow other people's sermons. I mean, you could call it stealing, but we share, right? So borrowing other people's sermons. So in that good tradition, I definitely have borrowed quite a few over the years. This morning, I'm going to borrow one from True Parents. It's actually, if you want to know the source and you want to hear the original, or read the original, it's in the Pyeonghwa Gyeong. These are the public speeches of True Parents. And this one is in Book 7, the book called The World of Culture of Heart. And the topic is the three great subject partners principle from the viewpoint of God's providence. So I'm going to try to unpack that a little bit and explore it a little bit because I found, especially in our lives of faith, we're always working to how can we become true human beings, the kind of human beings that God designed us to be. And in this talk, which Father Moon gave at the World Culture and Sports Festival in 2007, outlines that a lot. So. And he talks about these three great subject partners, which is kind of a technical term. You know, what in the world did he mean by three great subject partners? But and he talks about it in a lot of his talks and messages. So this is from the Cheonsang in the book from the section on God. God is the true parent of parents, true teacher of teachers, and true king of kings. God is the eternal true parent, eternal true teacher, and eternal true owner. To become a child of God, we first have to become a true parent like God. We have to go the way of a true teacher like God. And then the way of a true owner like God. This is this three great subject partners principle. God is the ultimate exemplar. God is our example in all things. We are to become godlike. So these are the three great subject partners. Being a true parent, being a true teacher, being a true owner, and also he refers to as a true leader or a true king. So that third one gets called different things at different times. But they all refer to ownership, responsibility, and leadership. So when True Parents came to America in 1971, they proclaimed and shared this important message about the three great heartaches and headaches of God. And actually it's a theme that True Parents repeated over and over. When True Father was in Danbury Prison in 1985, he proclaimed it again to all the ministers and clergy around the world, around the country. And in 1997, again, he brought this topic up because these three great headaches of God are things that we have to address. So, who can tell me name one of the three great headaches of God when he came to America that True Father proclaimed? What was one of the headaches of God?
Broken families.
Broken families, the breakdown of the family. Good. Another. Communism. The problem of communism. Now, for some of us, that's something we read about in the history books. But for those of us who arrived, that was very real. So what was number 3? The conflict among people of faith, religious people. Those are the three great headaches and heartaches of God. So here's from the True Family Movement in the Pyonghwa Gyeong. The strategy of Satan, who originated sin, is always to destroy the ideal of the true family and prevent it from taking root and becoming substantialized. This led to God's 3 headaches of the past 50 years. The first headache was communism, which denies God's existence. The second is corruption and immorality, leading to the breakdown of the family. The third is the division and disunity among the denominations and world religions. So, communism, over 100 million people were murdered because of communism. And more than that, many millions more suffered from starvation and slavery and were abused and suffered incredibly because of communism, spending their whole life in suffering. So this is, God is our loving Heavenly Parent. What a painful thing for a parent to see, the children suffering that way. And then immorality, destroying the family, the breakdown of the family unit, and we know the family is the key to building an ideal world, a healthy society. So moral corruption, the divorce rate and fatherless people growing up without knowing their parents, and all the problems that were involved with that. And the third, probably the most painful for God, because when people of faith, people who believe in God, people God's trying to work through, who should be solving the first 2 problems, are too busy fighting amongst themselves, so even the problem is getting worse because of that conflict between people of faith. So in thinking about this, I realized that these 3 great subject partners, they're really tools to address those problems. If you think about the true parent, well, that's the key to families, right? To being able to deal with the problem and the breakdown of family, you need to have true parents, a true couple and a true family, true parents, to create a good, healthy family. True teacher, people of faith needed to hear God's perspective and grow in their experience and understanding of God. And true owner, well, that was the big issue about communism. Because at the root of communist and even socialist thinking is that private property, individual ownership of things, is at the root of evil. So let's just take away everybody's possessions and then somehow magically people will stop being selfish. That didn't happen, right? That doesn't happen. You take away people's possessions, they'll find other things to be selfish about and even more desperate about it. So these 3 great subject partners, being a true parent, being a true teacher, and being a true owner, they're all part of the solution to God's great headaches. And the interesting thing is that each one of these, Father Moon often talks about these are partners. So just like in the Divine Principle, it talks about the 3 purposes of 3 object purpose, where everything relates to everything else. Parenting, being a teacher, true teacher, and a true owner, all are connected to each other. When we fulfill any one of those roles, naturally we have to also fulfill the other roles. So to be a true parent, you also have to be a true teacher and a true owner. So an owner is someone responsible who cares for others. To be a true teacher, you also have to have a parental heart, right? A true parent. And a true owner, one who takes responsibility and to share and conveys things on to others. So there's this relationship that these have, these dynamics. And in addition to that, solving the problem of family takes all 3 things too. Of course you need true parents, but also to having true teachers to create true families. True owners, people who take responsibility to create a healthy family. Religion, it takes people with a loving parental heart, and also people who can take responsibility, as well as people who can teach and educate. And same thing with the issue of communism. If we have a true parental heart, where we care for others and love others like a parent, then the main power of communism, which is resentment and anger, is taken away. and being a true teacher just to share a healthy lifestyle. So again, let me read from True Parents' words. God is the origin of our life, our parent who gave us birth. He is the origin of our knowledge, our teacher who has given us an environment of freedom throughout history in which we can live based on our own self-realization. As our owner, he has prepared and provided everything for us and has bequeathed everything to us. This principle is eternal and unchanging in the heavenly realm. This is the teaching of the three great subject partners that we honor. In conclusion, let us be a true parent, true teacher, and true owner as God is. So, as parents, we give birth to children, right, in our own life. And we can enter that realm of a parent. And also we can have a parental heart. But also as parents, we teach and educate our children, just as God is trying to raise up humanity, teaching and educating us. And we bequeath things to our children, to the next generation. We bequeath ownership and responsibility, passing on ownership to the next generation. So, it's nice to understand, okay, that's the vision. And it's important foundations for us to see, okay, our purpose in life is to become true parents, true owners, true teachers that can share God's love with the world. The challenge comes in is, how do we do that? How do we actually be those kind of true parents, true teachers, and true owners? And I'm hoping you guys have some answers. Because at this point of the sermon, I went, what am I going to say next? Well, I do have a few thoughts. Number one, as parents, of course, the blessing of marriage is the foundation for us having that connection so that God can work powerfully through us as parents. So the change of the blood lineage through the marriage blessing ceremony, this is a fundamental one. But primarily, it's learning how to unconditionally care for other people. Having that parental heart where I care and live for the benefit of others. Even if to sacrifice myself, and even if I'm not going to get any reward out of it. Even if it doesn't benefit me. That unconditional love for others. As a teacher, we have traditions and practices, right? In order to be able to teach something, you need to know something, right? So,
Or
we can pretend, like I'm doing up here.
It's the first step.
Study. This is why we have a daily tradition of Hundake. This is why I'm using as my source for the sermon, True Parents' words, right? By studying, we nourish ourselves and can gain God's heart and God's perspective. Now, it's not just a matter of studying so that I can talk smart to people. It's also getting it grounded in my heart and mind. And this is why it's important that we take time every day to meditate, to reflect, to spend quality time with God. And just allow God's truth, God's precious love, to sink into our hearts and minds. It's kind of like nourishing ourselves, nourishing us so that we can grow. And then when we talk about teaching, it's not teaching so that, a true teacher isn't someone who shows off the knowledge. Oh yes, I can quote the 47 verses from the Bible, and I can name the Bible chapters in reverse order. How about you? Can you do that? This is not true teaching. True teaching is sharing things for the benefit that will benefit the person who's hearing it. In fact, when we have something of value, precious value, it's something that we naturally want to share with others. And when we find something that touches our heart, something that moves us, music, art, movies, a book, all kinds of things that move us, then we generally love to share that with others. That's God designed us that way, to be people who love to share, because we're designed to be true teachers who give and share knowledge and understanding from the heart for the benefit of others. Now, I'm not going to share a movie that I hated. Oh yeah, you should watch this. I want you to have a miserable time. No, we want to share out of love, because we want people to have the precious and wonderful experience that we had. And so as a true teacher, unconditional love is at the foundation of being, is the true part of teacher. There's lots of teachers. The goal is to be a true teacher, which means that we're motivated by a heart of love, unconditional love. And then being an owner means someone who takes responsibility. Responsibility in our relationships with people. That means no more claiming to be a victim. If I'm a true owner, then I won't say, even though, all the facts and evidence say, it's not my fault, I'm a victim of the circumstances. But as long as we do that, we give up our power to actually impact that. So instead of saying I'm a victim, say, okay, I take responsibility. Even I didn't cause this mess, I'm going to do what I can to clean it up, to work on it. So this is taking responsibility, especially from a heart of I care and I love. Taking responsibility to make a positive difference in the world around us and in our relationships with people. Also, true owner talks about our dominion over the things in the world, all of the stuff that we own, our possessions. Are we true loving owners, caring for them? Tithing comes into there. Are we taking our material possessions, our gifts and our talents, and are we using it for God's purpose? So, becoming a true parent, a true teacher, and a true owner, at the core of all of it has becoming a person of true love, who lives for the sake of others, to make a positive, healing difference in the world, and to make a positive difference even if I'm not going to be rewarded, and even if it means sacrifice on my part. And the purpose for all this is not, here's my homework. The homework that I have to do. I have to be a true parent, a true teacher. I have to love people unconditionally. The real purpose for that is joy. The purpose of our life is joy through the sharing of love. And these are just different ways that we can love people, that we can share genuine love, God's love with others, and multiply love. So the purpose of all this interaction, these great subject partners and these different dynamics of love, is so that we can have a life of fulfillment and joy. How exciting is that? Right? That's something that we can look forward to. So again, from true parents, what kind of person is called to be a true owner? He or she is a person who lives for others, cares for others, and sacrifices to serve others, and practices true love in their daily life. Such a person can be called a true owner. So that unconditional love, that caring for the benefit of others, even if I'm not going to be rewarded for it, and even if it means sacrificing, without regard to my own benefit or suffering, this is where we can give unconditional love and find the greatest joy and fulfillment in our life. It's all built around this relationship of love. So, how do we do that? On a daily basis, okay, I know I need to love this person. Okay, I know I need to do actions of love today. I need to be a true loving teacher. Well, in True Father's speech, he gave us a little clue, a big hint on how God has designed us to enable us to be more effective as true parents, as true teachers, as true owners, as people of true love. So, you want to hear the secret ingredient? You ready? Okay, here's what Father Moon says. Ladies and gentlemen, this is in his speech at the World Culture and Sports Festival. He's telling everyone, okay, ladies and gentlemen, God's creation is truly mysterious and profound. God created us as his children to be the lords of creation. To this end, God gave each of us a conscience as his highest and greatest gift. It is given to us as a compass to guide us through life in this earthly world. And he continues, our conscience acts as a true parent, true teacher, and true owner on behalf of God, guiding our life and educating us from the time we are born. Our conscience keeps watch over every action at every moment, even though sometimes I try to hide. Right? Every action, every moment. It is aware of our every word, our thought and deed, even before our parents, our teachers, or God are. God endowed the conscience with the fundamental function of guiding and supervising our life. So, we've got this little conscience, sometimes big, sometimes small, right? Was Jiminy Cricket? Who remembers Pinocchio? Let your conscience be your guide. God is always speaking to us through our conscience. Now, we have to nurture that conscience. Unfortunately, because of the fall, our conscience is not so clear. Sometimes it's muddied, sometimes it's confused. Sometimes we just get obsessed with things. But if we want to look at the real measure for when our conscience is guiding us, is it showing us the way to love? Is it giving us inspiration, thoughts, nudges, pushes to where we can express love in our relationships with others or in our relationship with the creation? Well, this happens all the time. I'm driving down the road and, I'm getting ready to zip in front of someone. Oh, I can make it. And then this little voice says, that's kind of rude. That's going to be difficult for other people. You're causing... Oh! Okay. No, I don't say be quiet. I say, oh, my conscience. Anyway, hopefully I do that. But isn't that our challenge? All the time we're confronted with life. Our circumstances and situation in life, there's always some part of us, our original mind, our heart to love and care for people that kind of says, maybe you shouldn't go that way. Or maybe, how about this? And all the time I'm fighting with that one. Here I am, I'm quite comfortable, sitting down, relaxing, listening to music, reading a book or something, and here Eleanor's having a hard time, cooking or something in the kitchen, and then something goes, it probably would be loving to go and see if she needs any help. Oh, but I'm so comfortable. Maybe after this song, maybe I have to finish this chapter. We have those moments all the time. I mean, at least I do. I suspect we all do as humans. God gave us that conscience to help guide us to be people of love. And the truth is the more we listen to that conscience, the more we respond to those circumstances and situations, the easier it becomes. And actually, getting up from my comfortable position and putting down my book in the midterms, pausing the music so I don't miss anything, and getting up and doing something, actually, that's going to bring me a lot more joy than that book or that music or that comfortable lying on the sofa was bringing me. It really will. And in terms of satisfaction and joy in the relationship and the dynamic that we can have. So, the theme of all this, to become that true parent, to become a true owner, to become a true teacher, God has given us our conscience to nurture and to guide us, to be people who can impact the world in a loving way. This is what the goal is. The goal is to be people of true love who make a positive, healing difference in the lives of the people around us, the people that we interact with, the people, our co-workers at work, our people at school, our clients, the people we meet in the supermarket, in the library, out in the park. Any opportunity we have, even in our family, even at home, opportunities to share true love with each other, to be a true teacher when we share something so that they can also experience something new, something joyful, to have a parental heart towards others, caring about their well-being, to be an owner who takes responsibility and cares as an owner does, being responsible. So, let me conclude with this. This is the conclusion that True Father gave at this speech to this World and Cultural Sports Festival. It's in Seoul, Korea, and thousands of people from all over the world there for this event, for this festival. Father Moon says, with your conscience as your compass, attain the status of a true parent, true teacher, and true owner. Manifest true love in your daily life, thus shaping your eternal life in heaven. Heavenly fortune will speed you on your path, and your good ancestors who've received the marriage blessing will actively assist you in your activities. Have courage and strive to go forward. There's so much hope in our lives. God didn't leave us with a big list of commandments. Okay, do this, do this, do this. Without giving us a mechanism where we could actually be victorious. And by creating healthy habits in our lives, a habit of study, habit of prayer, of communion with God and nature and creation, of fellowship with each other, being in relationship, we can grow and nurture. And our conscience is always there to support us, not to make us feel guilty or bad or to punish us, but to support us in the experience of love and loving relationships in our lives. Please join me in prayer. Father, Mother God, our loving Heavenly Parent, we're so grateful for the ways that you're working in each one of our hearts and minds. And we know, Heavenly Parent, the great hope that you have for healing in this world begins with the transformation of each one of us, with the transformation of our families, with the transformation of our relationships, even at the leadership at the national level, leaders who have a true parental heart and are responsible, who have a true teaching heart to enable and empower people to accomplish their mission and challenge in life, and true owners who take responsibility. The buck stops with me rather than blaming others. Heavenly Parent, we know that it starts with each one of us, and we're grateful for your presence in our lives, constantly encouraging us and nourishing us, moving us forward to lives of fulfillment. We pray, Heavenly Parent, that you can touch and reach each one of us this morning. Heavenly Parent, we come before you and offer ourselves again, grateful for the way that you've worked in the past and the foundation that we stand on. So much sacrifice that went before us. But today, Heavenly Parent, we want to open our hearts again, invite you into our hearts and minds to be that guiding force, that our conscience can become clearer and stronger and more supportive and empowering, so that we can be the people that bring joy to you, bring healing to the world as true loving parents, as true teachers, and as true owners. Heavenly Parent, we thank you so much. We offer up ourselves again together as your sons and daughters and as blessed central families. We offer up ourselves to you in this prayer and our time together. Amen and adieu.